everyone, this is Titan Dragon. We're back in Satisfactory today. So as you can see, there is snow falling on the ground. There's presents around. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these.
Congratulations, you have found your first Fixmas gift package, which is, naturally, full of gifts, the basic part necessary for most Fixmas seasonal event activities. Don't forget to check the calendar or the map to see what you can do with these gifts. Or do forget, I don't care.
We are not doing Fixmas stuff in this episode. It's fairly early in December, and the Advent calendar, well, it's different than last year's. We'll take a look at that later. I probably will wait till after Christmas to do my Fixmas stuff, just so I can open all the stuff on the calendar in one go without playing around with the date. And then we have this Fixmas holiday event, but it won't unlock until we start opening stuff on the Advent calendar. Okay. I have gone through and designed a factory to do my Power Shards, the extra dark crystals that I need, and packaged turbo fuel and turbo fuel. I'm just double checking to make sure I have the recycled rubber. I don't. Okay. So I've already got my 1,000 nuclear pasta ready to go. We actually have the 1,000.
Just get back to work.
I forget what that second one's called. So currently, the only one I am not making is the warp drive. Just counting out 20 of them. Make sure we had 1,000 of those. With this one, we need 256. So that's one. There's 100. 200. That's 200, right? Nope, that's 250. And then this one, we need not 3, 6. And that's all of those. So what I'll probably do is hook up this output and this output so it connects in probably right there, and they'll just go into the extras. Will just head into the awesome sink for points. As far as the awesome sync goes, we're at 476 tickets, and I'm gonna have to increase my production of that. Um, One way that will increase will be getting the ballistic warp drives done. They are the most point giving of all. I believe they're 2 million points apiece. Alright. So I said I've designed a fuel factory, a turbo fuel factory. I want to get 480 turbo fuel per minute. I'm going to use that to power drones. I just need a little bit of plastic to go into storage, and then the 100 rubber that goes down to the aluminum factory. And then up here, here's my Power Shards, along with my dark matter crystals. We are going to retrofit my fuel factory for this. So I'm going to actually build a blueprint for some of this. We have 24 packagers, 8 constructors, so that's 3 packagers per 1 constructor of containers for plastic. So that's a great way to do a blueprint. Just smack those down. Probably as part of the blueprint, I will include the blenders, some of the blenders that I need for the 480 turbo fuel that I need. I just need to figure out what my ratios are for that. And actually, the way I would do that is I would clone this tab. To simplify things, I bring that down to 0, that down to 0. And then I would take that 480. Should be able to do this in my head, but so that's 20 per minute. So change this to 60. So maybe I won't include the blenders in my blueprint just because I can't get an even like 2, it's 1.33. So maybe I will chain those together. But at the very least, to make building simpler, I'll throw together a blueprint. Actually, so that's still a 2 1/3. I can still do that. I need to have 18 total blenders. So this is the Mark III. So I believe we can get 6 of these. on here. We want packaged turbo fuel. And then we come in with a splitter. Okay, and these need... Yep, everything's marked 1. How much is this? Mark 1. And then over here, I'm not sure which direction we'll have the output flow, so we'll wait to put on those mergers. And same with the these, I'm not sure which direction we'll have the plastic coming in, so we'll leave that blank. Actually, we can just do it this way. Again, the reason why I delete the pipes is for that little bit of extra that goes into the junction. I don't want that extra... Oh, I brought it up too high? I thought I was on the same level. That one is. Alright. Actually, better way would be to have the pipes go down into the machine. Actually, I like that noodle better. Alright. So I need to figure out how to get 3 blenders onto here. So anything before these blenders, I'll just figure out, set it up later. I just want to make this aspect of the blueprint. Alright. So we need an input for petroleum coke. Doesn't. So we do one there. Do that one there. Gets us 2. Okay. This is the more tricky part. We'll be figuring out the inputs. Need mark 1s. I don't know why it didn't show up. I thought it was in my library. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, finish flushing out. Well, maybe not. I'll let you watch me do the pipe work, but you don't need to watch me do the power. So again, I want the pipes to flow down into the machines. So we need, what's this recipe calling for again? Fuel, heavy oil residue. Alright. Let's see if these will go in. where the height that I want it. Is that? No, that one was... So with this one... Okay. Actually, we're not done with that, because we still need to do those. So overall, I need to stamp down a total of 4 of these. So that gets me 16 of these blenders for what I need. So it's overproducing. So I probably will need to have a... Well, first off, I need to bring it down. It's probably one of the few times you'll see me use a floor hole, just because we're bringing the liquid down from above. I gotta see where this comes out. Because I do want this to... Alright, that's going to overproduce. Alright, I just need to do the pipes on this side. And of course the belt work down here. Yeesh, I might have handicapped myself. Maybe not. Alright. And power. When I come back from finishing up those things, we'll be at the fuel plant where we're going to build this. Alright, so here we are at the fuel power plant. We are going to repurpose this. So I've already turned off the oil. I'm just waiting for the fuel generators to burn off whatever fuel that's built up in the system. And then for these refineries here to basically run their course of their polymer resin, and then we'll start tearing more stuff down. But in the meantime, we need to go set up some ports for SAM ore and sulfur. So we have the SAM ore here, and I know there's sulfur over in this area. Let's do a scan. Maybe I'm too far away. We'll do a scan once we get to that SAM ore. Oh, there we go. So we have one here and one here. I think we'll go for this normal here. Yeah, I think that's our closest one. Okay. I will see you guys when I get to that SAM ore. Alright, so here we are at the SAM ore. I believe a Mark II might be sufficient. Yeah, because we only need 80 per minute. We are going to put this into a drone port. Just trying to think of how best to set this up. How big is a drone port? Fairly big. Honestly, it doesn't seem worth it to set up a drone port, but I am. Bring it in closer. Actually, we'll bring it from this way. We will not supply fuel here. We'll supply fuel at the other point. We have some power right up there. So let's just grab power from here. Okay, next is sulfur. Yep, we gotta go name this port real quick. We said this one. Okay, that plant looked like it was a sewer sloop. Sam pickup. Okay. Let me double check. Yep, 80 per minute on the Sam ore. Oh, we also need to get raw quartz. Alright, I'm gonna go head to the sulfur place, to the sulfur node. I'll see you when I'm there. Alright, here we are at the sulfur. I'm gonna do a Mark 4 on this one. We're gonna have to overclock. We are going to need 405 per minute. So used to having the hover pack at this point. Okay. So there's that one. And I know that there is power over there somewhere. Yeah, you can see it over there.
Do we need that?
Yes, Ada, we do. Alright, I want to grab some sulfur before I head back. Just so I have some sulfur for when I'm ready to get the turbo fuel produced. So I'm going to wait here for some stacks to come up. I'll see you back at the fuel power plant. Alright, I'm back here. I picked up the sulfur I wanted. This plant basically looks like it's ready to be torn down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll bring you back once it's done. Alright, I'm back. I've cleared out all of the buildings. I've had to put a bunch of stuff into storage. So I think how we will proceed with this is we will throw down our drone ports that we need. So I'm actually going to put them here. So we need one for exporting fuel, one for importing sulfur, importing SAM, and importing crystal. We'll make this one here our turbo fuel export. Okay. So if we set up any more drone stations, they will come here. They will pick it up from this station. So what I'm going to do... Nope, can't grab it. Not 5. I'm going to throw a Mark 6 onto here. Okay. I want this to be a smart splitter. Just double checking my speeds here. Yeah. Overflow. And this will be packaged turbo fuel. So this will be the end of the line. I don't really need to have Mark IV going in there, but what the heck. Okay. Any extra packaged turbo fuel? Will be run into an awesome sink. Oh. So starting here, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah. There we go. So there's our first one. There's our second one. I want blueprint mode. I'm trying to make sure I have enough material so I'm not emptying my depot all that much. This is 1, 2, 3, so I need to take out that much more. Okay. Actually, one thing I can do is take this sulfur. This one will be our sulfur input, and let's go ahead and just put our sulfur in there. Okay. So open this port. We want SAM pickup, and we want it to come back to this port. Not drone port. Drone itself. Okay, we have not set up the crystal input, but at the very least, we can do that. We won't put a drone here. This will be a pull, so we'll have a drone if wherever else we set up drones, we'll have a drone port that will come here, pick up fuel, and then return. Alright, I don't think you need to see me hook up the outputs for these packagers, so I'm going to go ahead and pause my recording. Alright. So I did a quick redesign. I don't actually have my drone ports down anymore. I have 330 extra fuel that I was planning on burning, and when I calculated how many generators I needed 18 or 17 clocked at 250%, and one of them, this one down here at the far end, that one will be overclocked to 50%, 150%. So Yeah. And then I realized, oh hey, I need to also have room for 3 particle accelerators, a quantum encoder, and a bunch of converters. So, let me pull up my design here. So I have 80 SAM coming in. We're going to put them into one constructor, underclock to 20. That's going to go into a converter. A dark matter residue is going to go into a dark matter trap. Awesome. It's going to produce, it looks like 40 per minute, 10 of which is going to go into our synthetic Power Shard encoder, or in the synthetic Power Shard. 30 is going to go over to the train station. Awesome. But I also need another particle accelerator here, clocked to make 30 per minute of crystals, and we have to go into 5 more converters. Just those 2 converters alone take up a lot of room. Same with, gonna have a converter there too. So I threw in my fuel generators. I've hooked up this portion of it. Still need to figure out how I'm doing everything else. I just wanted to bring you back for a few minutes while I set up, or at least thought about how to set up the particle accelerators. Not that. Particle accelerators. I need 3 of these. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself, actually, just on the output side, we need room. So let's throw that one down. Throw that one down. Actually, no. Let's grab this. We're gonna set it to oil-based diamonds. I need 30 per minute. But let's bring them closer to over here. I'm gonna run a fuel line clocked at 300 over to here. Again, I want to give myself room to maneuver, to walk around it. Is that not quite lining up? Okay. Nope, not that. Let's go there. Because the pipeline is oil, we'll go that way. Have to get those later, maybe. Okay. Now the 5 converters. decided they were too close. I want to move them out one foundation. Actually, I probably want the quick wire. Let's get rid of those things. Okay. Let's go ahead and set this to time crystals. Okay. So we're going to bring in there, split, this is making 30. This is consuming 12. Alright. Actually, that one. Since I'm not 100% sure. Did I have him go? I did. Alright. Okay, and this is dark matter trap. And I'll figure out the output for this one once I figure out where I'm going to put the quantum encoder. As far as the SAM ore goes, I'll do a constructor. There. SAM ore, and it needs to make 20 per minute. Probably the quantum encoder will go on the level above, which will be this level here. We also need a converter on that level, and 3 constructors for making quartz crystals. So it kind of looks like I need to put my drone ports on this side. Let's go ahead, extend this down. Okay, quantum encoder. And we'll put it over this way just a little bit more. Yep. Okay, then we need a converter. Synthetic power shards, and this is going to make exotic plutonic matter. We only need to produce 60 per minute. Okay, we need to bring up our dark matter. That's going to go there. This is for a crystal, so we need 3 constructors. 1, 2, 3. We need 60 per minute, so that's 20 apiece. Just so I can get it out of my inventory. Crystals are going to come down from wherever and get split. Actually, I want that to look like that. You know, it's probably long enough that I can do straight mode. No. There we go. Dope. The sand doesn't go into here. So this needs to be dark matter residue. This needs to be at 40. There we go. just to give myself a little more walk room. Do a splitter there to there. A lot of this will head over to the train station, so I'll just kick it out like that for now. Right, there is, I believe, so we got our diamond set up, we got our converters, we just need to hook up the inputs from the SAM crystal. Alright. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at this. Again, trying to it won't let me okay, there we go. Alright, so I have two different water lines, one going into residual rubber from our heavy oil. That's fine. We also have water going into some blenders for our fuel. So we have 270 going into there, and we have a bunch going into this recycled plastic. That's going to become our plastic for our empty canisters. A little bit goes into our refinery for recycled rubber. Okay, and this rubber is going to be exported, so that needs to be over by the train station. You've seen me throw down enough refineries that you don't need to watch me do that. So I'm going to go ahead, pause the recording, and bring you back once I got everything in place. Alright, so I've laid everything out. I got it running. The only thing I haven't done is set up the crystal drone port. I'm looking at my sulfur input here. We're only getting 241 items per minute, so I may need to set up a second drone port to pick up my sulfur. But let's go ahead, let's get our SAM ore going. I've already told him where to go, what to pick up. We're starting to back up on the turbo fuel. I think maybe I head out to the sulfur, set up a drone on that part. I don't know. This is the first time I've used drones, so I'm not 100% sure how the best way to work is. Also, I need to go get crystal. So, the rock quartz. I think there's some nodes in a cave over in this area. Yeah. So I'm going to have to go set something up for those, which is pretty close to there. So I think we should be okay there. I was thinking it would, yeah, I was thinking it would fill this whole thing up and that would be enough. It doesn't seem like it. So maybe I set up 2 drone ports over at the sulfur, shift this setup down so that I have 2 incoming sulfur. Because I'm not getting enough sulfur to keep this running. Why are you yellow? You're not getting enough plastic. You're not getting enough rubber. Not enough rubber, not enough rubber. You're not getting enough polymer resin. Probably because these aren't running at 100% because they're backing up with the heavy oil residue. Yeah, see, these guys are backing up. Because this guy's backing up. Got our Samor in yet? Up here comes the Samor. It's Mark II. It's Mark II. That's Mark II. Alright. So we're finally getting our dark matter residue that we need, so we can start filling this machine. Okay, we're starting to get our crystals, or our dark matter crystals, so at least we should be. Let's do it this way. This to overflow. So let's... no. This one's any. That one is overflow. So let's prioritize shooting them up there. So I'm just going to stuff the machine with the crystals, just so I can have it start running. Have it start producing that dark matter residue that I need. Alright, I'm going to pause it. We're going to go set up our crystal and then come back. Alright, so I went ahead, threw a second drone on the export port and just set it so they're going back and forth. So there's 2 drones now transporting. So I only need 100. Per minute. And what I'll do set up a drone station outside of this cave. We'll set it up right here. This looks good. Okay, now I just gotta go find some of my power lines. I know I have some down in this area. Actually, before that, gotta name my output. Gotta name the drone port. I gotta remember. Crystal pickup. Alright, this port. Crystal input. Back to here. We will launch the drone. From my factory. Here we go. And we have crystals coming out, or quartz I should say, so that is good to go. That was weird, had a bit of lag or something. So now we're getting 449 items per minute, so that is sufficient for keeping my turbo factory going. And we've already backed up on the fuel, so now we're just turning it all into points, which is great. So now we just need to make sure our crystal comes in. And then we should be good to go. I'll have to experiment with drones some more. Maybe I'll have to set up several ports for fuel pickup from here if I wanted to transport, say, uranium to wherever I build my nuclear factory at. So that drone is there. There's a drone there. Oh, I guess I cut the power to my radar tower somehow. I'll set another one up soon. Alright, we're starting to get it back. We've already got a backup of the dark crystals. That's great. We have our diamonds backed up already. And so is our time shards, or time crystals. And again, we're just waiting for that first run of crystals to show up. And here is the drone. Needs to be Mark II. Then you'd be getting 100 a minute. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let this factory run for a little bit now that I've got things flowing a little bit better. The only thing I haven't done yet is turn on these. I want to let's see if these are running. So these are starting to back up with fuel. So it's hard to tell if they're running at 100% or not. Alright. I think we're good to turn on those fuel generators. So we've gotten some power shards and some dark crystals. That's excellent. So the only thing left to do is to modify the train schedule and modify the trains. Alright. Let me just double check this one. This one should only pick up rubber. So we're going to leave that one alone because it goes from here, picks up some Caterium bars, drops off the Caterium bars at the Save More Computers, and the rubber at the aluminum, and then it comes back here. So let's not mess with that one. So let's have this one. So from here, you're going to have it pick up power shards and dark matter crystals. Here we are going to have it unload dark matter crystals, and here it will unload power shards and so that is I need to double check which one's coming in. So this is not the one we don't want to modify. So it should only pick up the rubber. there's our plastic runner. I'm gonna go ahead, pause the recording, just so you guys don't have to sit here watching me wait. I'll bring back once this gets here, and I'll join you back at the Dark Hub, so we can turn on the ballistic warp drive manufacturer. Alright, we're coming up on the Dark Hub. I'm not getting any plastic at that facility just quite yet. Everything's got to be running at 100% for stuff to start backing up. But this will give us dark crystals being unloaded into here. Well, not into that one, into this one. Those dark crystals will head down. And fill up my machine. Let's see. You are completely backed up. So this is turned on. We just don't have the dark crystals connected. So let's drop on down. How many does it need a minute? It needs 40. Alright. That is a Mark 1 belt. Straight into there. I definitely have to get this fixed so that we're syncing those, because without it, I can't produce dark crystals here. Right, here we go. So here comes our first ballistic warp drive. Actually, while we're waiting for that, so we made the Power Shard factory, and we made the turbo fuel power plant / packaged. Alright, so we have our first one down below now. I really need to figure out where I want to put an elevator so I can get up and down here more easily. Let's see, where's the other merger? Alright, there's a merger. didn't have such a full inventory. These will just be cleared out as needed. So now none of my machines should be backing up at all. So I'm really going to flood my system. I'm going to get rid of all this extra fluff that I've had in my inventory. Okay, I think everything else I'm good on. So, I will be doing a Fixmas episode, but that won't be till after Christmas. And, I probably won't be doing another episode or stream between now and the Fixmas episode. I might spend some time running around collecting hard drives and Mercer spheres, Power Shards, Summers loops, but I will make sure to save the last couple of both for the episode that it'll be part of an episode before we finish the series. Alright, I appreciate you all watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next video. Take care.